Place. Look at the circle.
I think we got it. We're live now. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Michelle Moras.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We are Denim and Pearls
We're business casual
with Pearls of Wisdom.
from the porch. You change it on me every single time. I don't know what the deal is.
Keeping you on your toes.
So, what are we talking about today?
It's the end of the world as we know it.
You know, you heard me say today. That must be that northern accent in me.
Today?
Today.
Today. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. So what are we talking about with that?
I have no idea. You're the one who wanted to do it, I think.
No, you're the one who mentioned it yesterday.
Oh. Don't remember from one day to the next.
How do you soar like an eagle, right?
Oh, it could be so. We could take this so many different directions.
Well, then let's take one.
There's all kinds of directions. I mean, the world is coming to an end. If you look at what's going on in society today,
the world is always coming to an end. It's always on.
Well, that's contradictory, but you're
right. It's coming to some end of it, just like we're all dying every day, right?
Well, I guess some of us are, yeah.
Every piece of us is getting older and falling apart.
One day closer to the grave.
Yes, everything, including the world, everything. And so it's the end of the world as we know it. I think what we were really talking about yesterday was you always get into this crisis mode when you've got this plan in your head and this is how you're going to do it. And then one little thing doesn't happen and it all starts crumbling. And you see this domino effect go and everything's falling. You do, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. It's never going to work. I just lost it all. And everything I did is worthless. What we want to tell you is it's not.
Because you feel fine.
You feel fine.
You should always feel fine. As much as possible. I mean, we go through emotional ups and downs. Don't get me wrong, because we're all human. Number one, and I think that is our ingrained nature, inborn. we always worry about what's going on today or this moment, and this leads me back to. I think I said this a long time ago. My uncle always, kind of left me with one little saying in life before he passed away, and he's like, "Does it matter now? Yes. Does it matter? Next tomorrow week? Probably not. If does it matter in 6 weeks? Yeah, why worry about it? So take care of I think the big thing around that was evaluate what the situation is and then get rid of it if it's not really necessary. And you'll live a lot longer
and happier.
A lot less stress.
Instead of dragging your luggage from all your pains from the past and just dragging them around with you.
I just got this picture of you walking through the airport with a baggage full.
And that's when you just leave the bag. Say, okay, that's what the bag looks like. That's nice. You just let it go.
Well, there was a guy that came here to town one time, and he had a whole, roller suitcase full, and it was full of like comics that I have behind me or behind us. But these were the ones that he had were like $100,000 kind of comics, right? And I'm like, leaving that kind of bag behind, I don't know if you want to do that. So why leave all the good things behind? But if it was full of like $5 ones, who cares?
If it was full of $5 and you had $100 $5
comics,
I would
don't analyze me. It's the metaphor.
Okay, so basically,
you can leave the crap behind.
Keep the good memories, keep the good things, grow from them, right? And what I love to say is, if you like something, repeat it. If you don't like something, don't repeat it. Simple. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man. We're done.
But really, it's the end of the world. You hear so many people. And like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh, I stubbed my toe. I can't walk. Oh my gosh, I can't walk. And it's like, it's temporary pain. Move past it. If it broke, then get it fixed. Well, get something.
If it's broke, don't fix it.
If it's broke, get something to hold it in place so it'll heal itself. But that's the thing is, so often we get trapped in the emotion of something that's happened in our world. And when what we expect to happen doesn't happen, we believe that everything is falling apart. What we're saying is, or well, at least what I'm saying, Brian says, leave it because no, what I'm saying is,
Leave it all behind.
what I'm saying
Just-
is, learn from whatever that is. And if you really, really want to keep going in that direction where something stumbled a little bit, if you still want to go that way, fix whatever went wrong or find another way. I love to say, be like water, over, around, or through. So if you still want to go in that direction, well, then fix that one thing that broke. But if you really don't, change course, keep going.
I see the solution.
What?
Somebody, only Helene just posted, the brownies were good. We are in Colorado, you know. So if the brownies are good, who cares about what the world's doing? What's that look for? She's speechless. That doesn't happen often.
No, I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. No, we are not endorsing abuse.
I didn't say he was anything about abuse.
Because the way the world's going, people are going to want, oh, well, Denim and Pearls, Brian and Michelle said to eat brownies. And
I did not.
I
just thought it was a good idea. Doesn't mean I endorse it.
Okay. So be careful what you give up on. Because the thing is if you want it, you'll find another way. But remember, when one thing goes wrong, it doesn't mean it's over. It just means there's another way. Find another way.
Right. This is going to kill me because people are talking. There's actually people talking to us today, and my chair is in the way, and I can't see it.
You want me to move your chair?
You want to move it, or you want me to?
I can move it.
Why don't you do it that way? You don't cross the.
Keep
but
talking.
I know my cousin just popped in. Hi, Sarah. And then somebody else. Okay. So anyhow, much better. Thank you. We're as you guys know, we changed sets or changed studios or whatever you want to call it, offices, and we haven't figured everything out. I did move the monitor from last week, so I can actually see what's going on the big screen behind you, behind us, in front of us, whatever.
Yeah.
Behind the camera.
But that's the whole thing is, don't sweat the small stuff.
Oh, she was talking about the brownies you sent her for the birthday gift.
Oh, you got them.
Those
Yay.
brownies,
okay.
They didn't come from Colorado.
No, those weren't laced brownies. They're really yummy brownies too. They're really rich. They're delicious.
Love them.
And they're even better with ice cream, but that's another subject.
Have you ever warmed them up?
Yeah, they're delicious. Why?
I'm just trying to think how we're going to transition back into the end of the world.
Well, I'm not actually
brownies.
I'm actually not thinking the end of the world. Would be the end of the world for me if chocolate didn't exist. But
what is it with chocolate? I'm going to really take us off topic. What is it with chocolate and let's say females?
Well, it's not just females, but what chocolate has, it's a chemical in it that actually triggers something in your mind that
I thought it was an aphrodisiac.
It triggers the happy hormone in your brain. That's what chocolate has in it, and that's why people like it so much. It does. It turns on a hormone in your brain.
I can't say I ever felt like, okay, like last night I ate a Snickers bar. I don't know if that made me happy. Well, I was pretty happy last night. I don't know what it was.
But yeah, look it up.
Maybe it was the chocolate.
Look it up because chocolate does it triggers something in your brain that puts out like a happy hormone. And so it will raise your mood in some way, shape, or form.
So in other words, it's a solution to the end of the world.
Chocolate.
Chocolate and zombies.
Can we start this over? Brian's really distracted today. Thank you. We like the background too. There's lots of comics back there. And we have our sweet porch back here. But we'll have to figure out what we're doing because there's a lot of comics and it's making me crazy.
Oh, I got to move here. Where's my treasured one? Oh, my treasured one's behind you. Just for Michael. It's my Batgirl, Batman.
Oh, okay.
Well, Batman Adventures number 12.
Well, anyways, it's the end of the world as we know it is not a literal thing that we're saying. It's just that sometimes you think because one thing doesn't work out in your life, it's terrible. And Michael, let's just make that movie.
Michael's on my side on this one. Michael says chocolate and zombies. I'd watch that movie.
We'll make that movie.
You're going to have to make it.
Michelle is checking out. Brian can just sit here and giggle for the rest of the show.
Well, see, we say pearls of wisdom. We don't say we give all wisdom. You said it was more comfortable in these chairs. Does that mean our wisdom is less now?
No. He's got the giggles. There's no way I'm going to stop him now. He's gone. We've lost him.
Mhm.
It's the end of the world as we know it. Brian has lost it.
What on a serious comment on that from what you just said, what's wrong with laughing? And I'm not saying you're saying I'm wrong, but what's wrong with laughing? Even if it is the end of the world, you might as well enjoy it.
If it's the end of the world, I'd be laughing. I'd be doing somersaults. I would be playing with bubbles and rolling in mud. Why? Because at the end of the world, there's nothing I have to worry about the next day. So
if you're on the podcast, you see my face going bubbles and mud.
No, blowing bubbles.
Oh, blowing bubbles.
And then rolling in mud. I do everything I don't normally do, which is not a lot of things. Anyways, but the thing is, I have nothing against laughter. But when Brian gets the giggles, his brain turns off and he just giggles.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
So
I kind of live my life that way. I mean, I'm probably not the person that you would walk by and go, "You are always smiling." Every time I see you, you're always smiling. I have heard those comments.
I say you're usually very pleasant.
Pleasant. Okay, got that word. It's very pleasant.
No, you're approachable. You don't have that.
Oh no, I'm not a gruff. I don't have a
No, that's why
RBF.
That's why you're pleasant. You're not giggling all the time. No. But no, there's nothing wrong with the humor. And that's the other thing is if you think the world is coming to an end because all your plans are falling apart, or honestly, it's just, you've got a flat tire or something that simple, and you think, oh my gosh, I have to trade out my car and everything's bad. Blah, blah, blah. What we do with our minds when one thing goes bad and we allow those emotions to go crazy on us, we take a teeny tiny molehill and make it into Pikes Peak, which is a very tall mountain. And so what you need to do is you reel in those emotions and realize it's not the end of the world. It's just a tire. It's not the end of the world.
Just California.
It's going to drop off. Or it's not the end of the world, whatever it may be. My computer system went out or whatever. So keep your focus on what positive is happening in that world and around you so that you don't get lost in the panic.
You know me, I always make this statement, not going political here. However, I do have to, I heard a statement today called the flyover states.
What's that?
In other words, if you don't live in New York or California, it's always we're a flyover state. Nobody stops and they don't see what's really going on in the middle of the country. And there's some stuff going on today over in New York City where the salsa's made.
New York City.
That's going crazy over there. And I'm just thinking, if we personally were in the middle of that right now, what is our reaction to it? Do we follow the trend of the riot and the loudness and the negativity, or do we get out of it?
Get out of it. What's going on?
Well, it's stuff over migration and immigrants in
New York.
In New York City, yeah.
I'm going to be in New York in the next 2 days, right?
Well, we'll talk about that offline. But this is a today thing, and it's a moment in time. So, but I'm just thinking, if we were there, like my brother lives in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And when all the stuff was going on in Minneapolis last summer, he's like 3 blocks from where it all happened, 5 blocks, whatever.
Close.
And I sit there and I think, would I want to be in the middle of it, whether I believed in what they were doing or if I didn't? Would I want to be there?
I would say it's dangerous. Don't go there.
Right. It's dangerous. And 2 is putting the negativity behind and being metaphorical again, or symbolic, I guess, leaving that negativity behind. But I guess if you don't think it's negative, then it's not.
It's all perspective again.
Yeah. And yeah, big speech that I like to talk about is perspective and seeing things from a different matter, because we all see things from a different place, a different point in time, based on
Background.
our background, our environment, our experiences.
We are accumulation of everything we've ever learned. And so when we come into any situation, we see it from our periscope, from our view. I just wrote a chapter about that, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm writing a.
She suddenly got serious.
I
On me
wrote a
here.
forward for a book called Deck of Diversity, and I talk about how it's important to have different people from different aspects of the world and backgrounds like military and non-military and all that kind of stuff, because we all pick up different things in our life, and as we get older, we form new ideas around whatever it is, and then when you come together, although I'm a military spouse and he was in the military, when we look at a subject, we see it from two different lenses. And so I can learn from his perspective and he can learn from mine. And so we get other people with other different perspectives and we put them all together, and we'll get a more cohesive thought that helps all of us.
Well,
instead of
this has been going on. I mean, right now the big word is what? Diversity and inclusion and all that other kind of stuff. There's some of those catchphrase words now. But I remember, oh my goodness, it must have been 10 or 12 years ago. I became a board member on one of the Chamber of Commerce's here in the area. And when you look at the makeup of the board, it was like all guys. And then it's like, okay, well, we need to add a different perspective in this. And I think everybody who ever puts a board together should take this information and, get a female on the board, get somebody of color on the board. And I don't mean so that you can make it inclusive or whatever the word is and diverse. That's not what I mean. Your ideas are diverse because everybody comes from different backgrounds.
And age groups.
Oh yeah, because Colorado Springs is actually known for the oldest board in the country. The city council or whatever, it's got the most eldest people on it in the entire country. Or at least it was a couple years ago. It may have changed by now, but it's a matter of having those leaders and having the different ideas from the different backgrounds and even the different regions across the country can make a difference. Because if you're from the South, you think different than if you're from Washington State. It's just, I'm trying to get the spectrum here because I don't want to be across the board because it's not perfect. There's a lot of us in the same region who totally think totally different. Totally. So I don't know, just kind of my thoughts on building boards is having, or advisory boards.
Let's say not just boards, advisory boards, but teams. So like I was saying, I was writing that chapter and my example was when I'm, let's say, building my team right now. I'm a speaker. I'm doing this record.
Record.
Yeah. But the things I do a lot of different things. And people think I'm moving at full force all by myself. And what they don't realize is I have advisors. I've got a retired enlisted military guy, right? I've got a retired officer dude.
That's all right. Those officers don't know much anyway. So
I have I've got girlfriends, one in the nonprofit world, another one who is a CEO in her company. And so I've got people from all these different levels, different
walks of life,
all come together. And when I ask them what's your opinion on what's going on? They do, oh, this. And what I do is I take all of their thoughts. So not just for boards, but in life, in your business, whatever. Get advice from other people and then weigh them against your own.
Well, roll that back into it's not, it's the end of the world as we know it. It may be, but it can also help to have different opinions to move forward. Yeah, and that's a lot of times that's what your partner's for. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if you don't work on a board of some sort, just your partner's opinion a lot of times. Now, needless to say, there's a lot of times I don't want my partner's opinion, my wife's opinion, but I think we're all that way. But it's still it helps to make your team, even if you don't have a slew of folks to work with.
And it's almost like a focus group. By bringing those all the different people, you get a focus group of, say, we're all business people, okay, or entrepreneurs. That focus group of all the different people that you have around you, right? You're a summation of the 10 people that you spend the most time with.
Mhm.
It helps you figure out what you want to do in your business and what would be beneficial. So as simple as, let's say, my music album, I had one designed, and people are like, something's wrong. No, it doesn't feel right, and no one could put their finger on it. And then I told Brian what everyone else was saying. He goes, oh, well, why don't you just do this picture and put your name?
Hmm.
And it was so simple. And I went back and I showed everybody else, and they're like, oh my gosh, that was it. That was it.
It's some of that's being on the same page, that's for sure.
Exactly. So, although you may think the world is ending as you know it around you, focus on the good. Focus on what you want to repeat. Don't focus on what you don't want to repeat, because if you believe in universal law, whatever you focus on, you get more of.
Universal magnetism.
Which is why when he was talking about riots and crowds and angry people together, stay away from it, because what you'll do is your energy will amplify in that. You're feeding the negativity.
You know, I just had another thought too.
What?
Instead of talking about the riots and such that we were discussing, you could almost say that about social media. Because when you look at your news feed on social media, no matter which platform it is, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world for everybody and somebody.
I'll just watch any news feed and everything's bad. Everything's going bad. And the thing is that they've been saying that all of our lives. I mean,
oh yeah,
we're in our 50s. So we remember in
why do you remind people of that?
Because I love that.
I'm trying to go for the 35 look.
No,
here,
I like being, I'm 70. So the thing is even when we were in elementary school, they used to do drills where they would turn on a siren and we'd have to go underneath our desk like if there was a nuclear attack.
Mm-hmm. That was the
Back
Cold War infusion.
in the 70s, they were telling us that the world is ending every day.
And that we were going to the metric system.
And that we're going to the metric. And so here we are in 2023, verging on 2024, and they're still saying the same thing. Why does the news focus on negativity? They focus on it because it gets your attention. Why does it get your attention? Because it raises your alarm in your brain that says, oh my gosh, something's wrong. I need to pay attention to it. And so what it does is it feeds that need of looking for the bad in life. You know where I'm getting?
Stop. For some reason, we're attracted to the negative. I don't understand.
We're attracted to negative.
Negativity travels the world like 20 times faster than positivity.
Well, just like if you have a review, if you ever look at reviews, most people don't say, oh my gosh, this was the best product ever. It's usually, this is the worst, worst thing ever. And so people love to complain. It's part of our nature to point out what's wrong in other people and other things. But it's very rare for us to praise without prompting, to praise what other people are doing. So when you see all that negativity, I encourage you, see something good and focus on that. Don't feed into that. The world is ending, because the world is always ending, and we smile and we wake up every morning. So giggle.
I'm laughing at the end of the world.
And don't take life so seriously, because really in the end.
So here we only got a few minutes left, but here's the question. We talk about the end of the world, but we talk about society talks about the end of the world, whether it's Notre Dame, whether it's an apocalypse, whether it's a zombie apocalypse. How do you think the world's going to end? Will it just be poof?
How do I think the world's going to end?
Yeah. If you think it's going to happen in your lifetime, or if it were to happen in your lifetime,
I don't think
how do you think it would be the end? Are the dinosaurs coming back? Zombie apocalypse? The sun is going to shake like in the one movie that I used to watch, Where Have All the People Gone?
Or the moon's going to crash into the earth. How do I think the world is going to end?
Should I prepare my tinfoil hat and shotgun for the zombies?
You go for it. I think if the world is going to end, I want to think that morbidly, it would be something that would just knock us all out.
Just go poof? And we'd never know the difference?
We would know. I think it would be like a gas thing where the atmosphere changes and we would just die and we wouldn't even know it. We would just wake up. I mean, never wake up. I don't think it would be fire and brimstone scary. I think it'll just, we're going to go to sleep and it'll be it.
And it'd be poof.
Yeah. So none of us would know it was over. It would just be gone.
So we really can't predict the end.
No. And I don't see it as
Darn
running
it,
in
I
the
was hoping
streets.
we could be known as philosophers
I was
now.
thinking that we wouldn't be. I don't think we're going to be running down the streets with a giant blob behind us, or a dinosaur with a Gatling gun. I don't think it's, or giant bees that are stinging us and turning us into zombies.
Well, wait a minute, zombie with a Hershey bar.
You do realize I'm talking about the movies I've been in. But yeah, because we in Armageddon Films, we do a lot of films about the end of the world, and it's kind of funny.
Well, I think it's all left up to our imagination, and again, not necessarily perspective, because imagination and perspective aren't necessarily
it's
the same thing.
imagination. But in my best case scenario, if it happened in my lifetime, something would happen in the atmosphere. We'd all fall asleep, and we'd never.
I like to happen in the movies where you know it's coming, and then you make the love to the person that's next to you, just so that you
Commit a sin right before you go. That's the way to do it. To work.
Well, isn't that what happens? They're trapped in the cave, and the gases are coming after them. And I've always loved you since the day I met you in kindergarten.
And then they die.
And then they make love and they die together.
Well, actually, they don't die. Actually, they make love, and then someone saves them.
And then somebody saves them.
And then
Oh,
they
they
awkwardly
regret
look at each other. Shit, I was lying about all that.
Sorry, I didn't really mean that.
I was in the moment of panic. So don't do anything rash or crazy if you think the world is ending. But no, honestly, I think it would be a very quiet ending, I think. Or here's a philosophical, crazy one. What if the world's already ended and that's why everything seems crazy?
Well, there's some people believe that we're like an experiment from aliens.
I know, but no.
That we were planted
I'm
here,
serious.
so they can determine our ending.
The world doesn't. I don't know if you feel this. It feels like the days are going faster. The months have gone so much faster.
That's because you're getting older.
And I swear that I blink and it's like 3 days later. I do. What happened to the other 3 days?
Uh-huh.
Well, my thing is what if it's all an illusion? What if we're all dead and we think we're alive and we're all in this crazy dream?
So we're all in heaven right now?
And for some, I didn't say heaven. I don't know. Because I think.
So what is your life like? Do you feel like you're living in heaven or hell?
No, I think it's like a purgatory. Maybe we're all in purgatory right now. Because if it was heaven, there would be bliss. There would be no pain, no suffering, no anything. There's definitely pain and suffering. And
you stubbed your toe like 5 times last week. It was painful. So
yes.
There's pain.
So there's pain or something. So it can't be heaven. But I don't see us being overly tortured, so we can't be hell. So maybe we're all in purgatory.
Or it's all on how we view it ourselves.
Or we're part of the matrix and we're all plugged in. And it's all a dream. And I don't know why they plugged him next to me, because goodness gracious.
There's a lesson to be learned there.
It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. So don't let the little things bog you down. Find another way. It's not the end of the world. And when it is the end of the world, it won't make a difference anyways. So keep going. Keep getting up. Be that toddler that finds the joy in finding a butterfly flying across a flower, and just find the joy in life. Go be the best version of you.
You turned out serious now.
Yeah, and just go be the best version of you, unapologetically. And did we have any more comments? Because I can't see anything.
I don't know. Let me go back. Don't. Just lean. We all love green people.
Oh.
I don't know. They just had that thing where was it in Europe, someplace or whatever, that they
Soylent Green?
No, they supposedly showed us aliens that are supposed to be real aliens.
Oh yeah.
You know, the mummifications.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying it looks like ET, so they don't know how they want to believe it or not.
I am missing all sorts of news. Okay.
Stay away from the news. It's bad for your brain.
This is how you can stay happy in life. Don't watch the news.
Mm-hmm. But if you do, make sure you know how, and we talked about this the other day, and this is definitely a longer sum, which maybe we can deal with it later, but compartmentalizing. Mm-hmm. Putting things in the places that they belong. So if you believe something, is it at the front of your brain or is it a box to laugh at?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really kind of that simple.
Or as Byron Katie always says,
Oh, goodness.
there's 3 types of business in this world: your business, the other person's business, and God's business.
And none of your business.
And none of you.
None yet.
So when you cannot control it, it's out of your control. Control you. It's the only thing you can. So your mindset, and that's why we say it may be the end of the world and whatever is happening in your world. Go find the good in it and realize it's just a little tiny piece of a bigger picture. Focus on the rest of the picture, not on that little tiny piece that's broken. So until next time.
Same bad channel.
Same bad channel, same bad time. My name is...
No copyrights intended there.
My name is Michelle Moras.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We are Business Casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the porch. We're Denim and Pearls. And we'll see you next week, Friday. Same time, same bad channel. Adios.
Peace.